Hello and welcome to your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 30th of April 2015. My apologies for the late Lunar Scope for you. I actually recorded last night, but went back and listened to the recording, and it turns out that there was no audio attached to it. So here we are again after several takes with your Vedic Lunar Scope. And eerily, you're going to find out that there's a connection between what happened in recording this and the energy of the day, as is only suitable. The moon today is going to enter Libra and is in the nakshatra, or the lunar mansion as they're also called, of Hasta. Hasta is connected with Savatar. Savatar is the life-giving aspect of the sun. The aspect of the sun that bring things into being by shedding its light on them, making us aware of them. Through awareness, the potential for manifestation becomes increased manyfold. And we're going to talk a little bit about this today. I know that that may sound confusing initially, but we'll get to the root of what this is all about. Hasta is also symbolized by a hand. And I like using the analogy in explaining Hasta of talking about a few things that the hands can do. Well, the hands can create things. We can make things with our hands. Hands can also ward things off and keep things at bay. Sometimes that process is very necessary. Sometimes we need a little more time in the process of development. And sometimes we want to keep something away that is going to be destructive to our efforts or to our goals. So that's very important to the process of manifestation. But the most important one that I think we should talk about today is the fact that the hands can grip onto things. And it's precisely the concept of control that we want to be very acutely aware of today, as the moon is going to inch closer to a conjunction with Rahu, the North Node. And Rahu is connected with the passionate nature of the mind, among many other things. Rahu is responsible for bringing to the surface the very things that we need to have happen in our lives so that we can grow our consciousness. But it tends to do so by making us very passionately focus on something. And with both Rahu and the moon in Hasta, well, there is a heightened potential to try to control something which ultimately is beyond your control. Occasionally we get this thought in our mind of what a good boy am I, or what a good girl am I, because we think that we have achieved something that is pretty amazing. The number one thing to achieve that's very amazing is awareness. And one of the things to be aware of above all else is nothing happens outside of the will of the universe. So if you think about it, nothing really ultimately is within your control. It doesn't mean you should stop trying. It doesn't mean you shouldn't put effort into things. The universe wants you to do that. But it also wants you to recognize that the whole purpose of free will is to align your free will with your destiny by becoming more aware through using your full senses. And that's the way that true manifestation reaches the height of its creative potential. And that's precisely what I was talking about at the very beginning. We need a heightened sense of awareness in order for the process of manifestation to function at its most optimum. The lunar tithi for the day of the moon, is Shukla Dwadashi, the 12th day of the bright half of the moon. There's a very enthusiastic, preservative aspect of this lunar tithi today. And that relates perhaps to the concept of the moon and its need to ward things off. There's a process of development that's taking place. And the tendency with the enthusiasm is to become overly enthusiastic, because the solar lunar yoga for today is Harshana, which is related to the concept of thrilling with joy. And because of becoming overly enthusiastic at the fact that you're seeing some progress, well, you might want to tighten the reins and try to gain control of the situation, when trying to gain control of the situation is just going to make it slip through your fingers. Sometimes the tighter you grip, the more that slips through the iron fist. there's perhaps an analogy for the world within that if you take a look at what's going on for us. But we're not going to go into that right now. We'll explore that a little bit more within the weekly forecast, which should be coming soon. But it's important to recognize today that ultimately nothing is within your control. The only thing that's within your control is to align your mind and your heart and your soul with spirit, with the universe, so that you can achieve the very purpose that you're put here for. And that really takes a lot of weight off your shoulders. You're responsible for your awareness. That's what you're most responsible for. You align yourself with that, everything begins to manifest in exactly the manner which it needs to. Now, this has just been a brief look at the lunar energy based on the position of the moon and many other planets for today. Obviously, I can't know the full impact that this is going to have on your life, as I don't know where the rest of the planets are in your chart. For that, what you would need is for me, or someone else even, I should say, to take a look at your astrological chart for you. So if you have perhaps a perplexing question or just want a general outlook, I do offer a vast range of astrological services, which are available through the link, which you may see further down on this YouTube video. If you've closed down the link already, it is also down in the description area. I offer person-to-person consultations recorded using this very tool, which I'm talking to you through now. I also offer in-depth personalized video reports, which are recorded as a monologue without the personal interaction. And there are also written reports available for those of you who like the written word and are more easily able to integrate an astrological report from that perspective. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page yet, please consider doing so. That way you'll get an update every time a new video is released. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 30th of April, 2015. Until next time, my friends, I do hope that you'll take the very, very best care of yourself. Bye now.